Hi guys, so today I wanted to do something a little bit different. Recently there's been a lot of booktube discussion going around booktube and everything, and I think it's a discussion that we as booktube as a community need to have, and it's one that we should encourage and not discourage, and that's why today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the whole subject, and I hope that hopefully down below in the comments below and other videos you give your thoughts too. So this all started from Amanda's video and everything, and hopefully you'll watch that first. I'll make sure to have a link in it down below, and from there has spiraled so many great and awesome booktube video discussion videos that I definitely recommend you check out, as they go through a variety of information on the topic, and I think it's great, and we should definitely encourage these and watch these videos, and maybe we as people, as a community, might learn something new too. So Amanda's video had some great points, and other videos that have followed because of that have had some great points too, and I think it's important that we all share our opinions, and the important thing about our opinions is that they're our own, and no one can tell you that your opinion is wrong, or you're not allowed to say your opinion or anything, or your opinion isn't justified, because it's your opinion. But instead of hindering these opinions and saying, oh no, you can't say that because that's hurting someone else, I don't think, as long as you're not intentionally hurting someone else, and let's talk about these opinions. Let's talk about things, like let's say, hey, I don't really like the Amazon wishlist, or whatever you feel, but it's okay because it's your opinion, and let's talk about these opinions and on this community, and through video form or comment form or on Twitter or however you want to express your opinion, and let's talk about them, because if we continue and to have this discussion and to help it grow, then we ourselves as a community will grow too and learn something from it, or at least I hope we will. So I want to say in this video, these are my opinions. You don't have to agree with any of them. You don't have to, you can disagree with all of them if you want. That's okay, because that's your opinion. But let's discuss them. Let's not hinder anyone's opinion, but let's discuss openly and happily, and let's just have a discussion. So one thing I wanted to start to talk about is why I started Booktube. Now, I started Booktube because I love books. Books are a huge important part of my life, and I wanted to discuss books with people, and I also wanted to encourage people to read. And I want you to think about for a second, if you make Booktube videos, why did you start Booktube? And hopefully if you're still doing Booktube videos, are you still doing it for that reasons? Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to give your subscribers what they want, but I think it's important that you should be doing the Booktube videos for yourself as well, not just because something's popular. I myself do book reviews a lot. I know they're not as popular, but I do them because I want to discuss books. I want to say, hey, I like this book, or hey, I didn't like this book, and form a discussion around that book. I also do book hauls every month and everything, but I'll do them when I want to do them, not because they're popular. And I know book reviews aren't popular, and it doesn't matter to me if that book review I posted only got one view, because one person took their time out to watch it and they might have learned something new about that book, and that's what means something to me. So I think we should be doing the stuff that we want to produce on our channels, and not stuff that we know that will get views. I want to make sure that we're doing the things that we want to do, not the things that we think other people want to see. Does that make sense? I also want to discuss book reviews in a way that maybe we should try and be a little bit more critical, or maybe we shouldn't. It's up to you what you want to do on your channel. But for me, when I started Booktube, I definitely wasn't as critical as I am now. I want to become more critical when I review books and everything, because if I'm recommending a book to someone, I want to make sure that I've recommended them a book that they're gonna like, and not a book that I was like, oh yeah, it was okay, but then I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. Like, why would I do that? And I think it's okay to say what you loved about this book. Like, sometimes I will only say, oh hey, I love this book and everything, it was fun and everything, and I can't actually point out what I had like a fault with, but I'll say, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, but I can actually point out where that star was missing. Like, it was great, but it wasn't amazing. For example, I have a review coming out soon, I think, on Claudia Gray's Spellcaster, and I said in my review, as you'll see if you watch it, that when it comes out, that I said that it was a fun and fantastic YA novel. It was just really fun and light and everything, and I read it 4 out of 5 stars, but it wasn't amazing. I didn't learn anything from that book. Like, I didn't learn any life wisdom from that book, but that was okay because I just wanted a fun, light-hearted read, and I thought the book was fantastic for that. So why don't we discuss things like that? Or I think I have done a negative review once on my channel, and it was for a book called Low Red Moon. You can look it up if you want to, but I don't think I was too cruel for it. I just basically said why I didn't like the book, and I think that's okay. But the only I want to say view, but the only activity, that's what I'm looking for, sorry, this is going to be all over the place because I just want to express my thoughts, but the only activity that video got was a dislike. And I'm like, why? Because I expressed my opinion. Like, why are we trying to hinder other people's opinions if someone didn't like that book? Shouldn't we be encouraging to say things like that? Another thing I've seen as a result of this discussion is YA becoming under a lot of hate, and people are only saying, oh, you can only find YA reviews and YA books on Booktube channels. And first off, that's not true. If you primarily, sure, there are a lot of YA books on Booktube because, do you know what, it's a popular genre at the moment and a lot of people are enjoying it, so of course you're going to find it. But there are other, you know, books out there on Booktube too. You've just got to search. Myself, I don't do just YA, I do adult books. I've done like book reviews on Habibi and Room and other books, but primarily I do YA, and that is because YA is my favourite genre. So that's that's a genre that I am reading the most, and of course that's a genre then that I'm going to be reviewing the most because it's one that I'm reading and reviewing the most. Does that make sense? It annoys me so much when people say, when they make it out that YA isn't as good as a genre as classics or adult or romance or whatever. Like, a person should be able to read whatever they want to read, and if they want to make videos about books, if they want to just discuss YA books, then they should be entitled to and allowed to do that, and that's great. Like, I thought we were trying to encourage reading, so then why are we putting this hindrance on YA? And this is another topic. I'm not going to get into this discussion because I don't want this video to be about, but I just think that we should encourage reading of whatever genre you want to read, whether that's YA or adult books or sexy time books, whatever you want to read, that's great, and I applaud you for reading. Another thing I wanted to discuss was honest reviews, and I think an issue that I had is when booktubers can receive a book where they've been paid to speak about it and everything, and however they don't give it a honest review. Like, they say this book is fantastic, it's great, it's wonderful, when really they didn't think that. Now, I just want to hope that this isn't happening, because I'm not saying ads are wrong, but when I watch TV, and I don't anymore primarily because I'm on the internet, and the internet is better than TV in my position, but anyway, that's not what I'm getting into. But when I watch TV, I know when I'm viewing an ad because it will be clear that that is an advertisement for something. But when you watch a video and, you know, you've been paid to talk about this book, and if you don't disclose that information, it's not as obvious. And I think that it's okay to get sponsorships and to be sponsored or to review a book for, you know, and get paid for it and everything. That's okay. I mean, that's a way you can make a living. That's great if you can make a living off that. That's fantastic. I applaud you for coming that far to get that. But I think that we should be honest about it and say, hey, I received this book and everything from this person for a review, or I got this book and everything. Let's make it clear that we're being sponsored or something like that, because otherwise I feel like if you go, oh, I love this book so much, it was absolutely fantastic, and then we find out that you're being paid to say that and you didn't disclose that information from the start, it's harder to trust your reviews, and that sucks because we want to trust your reviews and everything. So yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense in any of this video. These are just my vague thoughts and opinions on these topics. I'm not going to get into full out of them because then we'll be here forever. But yeah, I just want to make it clear that you should be able to have a sponsorship and everything, but maybe at the same time be honest about the reviews that you do, and also disclose information that you did receive that book from someone. That'd be great. I also wanted to talk about the Amazon wish list. Now, this discussion has been great. Myself personally, when I watch a video, a haul or something, and then the booktuber goes on to talk about, oh, they've received these books from the Amazon wish list, it always makes myself uncomfortable. And that is because, number one, I don't know that the booktuber probably doesn't doubt that, but it doesn't mean to do this. It makes me, as a viewer, feel like I have to give this person a book in order for them to love me or something like that. And that's, I don't want to give you a book to receive your affection, and that's probably what you don't mean, but it's how it feels. Also, I myself, I would never want anyone to buy a book for me. Like, if you're friends, you know, sure, I'd be like, oh, but my birthday's coming up, oh, here's my Amazon wish list, hint hint, nudge nudge, and when their birthday comes up, oh, they can give me their Amazon wish list of what they want, that's fine. But for someone you don't know, a stranger, I'd much rather that person had bought a book for themselves, or even better, if they wanted to spend money but not on themselves, a charity. And there are so many fantastic charities out there. There are even book charities, and I just feel like that's so much better way, because I can buy books for myself, and the booktubers you watch can also buy books for themselves. And it's a hard topic. I'm not going to condemn anyone for having an Amazon wishlist on their channel, and it's up to the booktuber whether they're going to have one or not. But for me myself, I have issues with it, and they're kind of the reasons why. Also, a couple of booktubers have taken down the Amazon wishlist, and those are the reasons why, and I really appreciate them listening and everything. There's also the topic of idolization. Now, this is funny because I don't think anyone should idolize anyone, because I think that's unhealthy. We should not put someone on a higher pedestal than ourselves. I think that we should all be equal. We should be all on the same size pedestal, and that should be great, and that's what we should encourage. I think it's great and encouraged to like someone's content and go up to them and say, I love your content. And you can like their personality. One of the biggest booktubers out there is Christine from Pollinator Books. She is one of my favourite booktubers because of her personality, and because of her personality, the content she creates is so bubbly and fun, and I just love watching her videos. And I'm going to VidCon this year, and I'm going to go to the booktube panel, and hopefully I'll get some photos of the booktubers that I watch and I like their content. And I think that's okay. That's something that we should encourage. However, I don't think that we should be idolizing any of them. And I don't want to sound hypocritical because I'm going to want photos of them, but I like their content, and I don't think there should be anything wrong with me wanting to get a photo of them. I don't idolize them. I don't know if this is making any sense, but I don't think we should idolize anyone. But I think at the same time, it's okay to like someone's content and like them as a person. But we should also note that human beings are complex. We see what they want us to see. When they film a video, they have control of everything. Where they're sitting, what they're editing it out and everything. And we see what they want us to see themselves. Not perfect, but a better version of themselves. Or not a better version, but a cut version, I guess, of themselves. We don't see them at their darkest times most of the time and everything. And we should note that humans are flawed. And that's okay, because everybody's flawed, but let's not pretend that the biggest booktuber out there isn't flawed, because they are, but everyone is, and that's okay. But let's just remember that everyone's flawed, and we should view human beings complex. I don't know if any of this has made sense. I mean, for me myself, I have only like 30 something subscribers, and for me it's not about those subscribers. I'm doing Booktube because I want to discuss books with people, and wherever you have 30 something subscribers like me, 100 or 100,000, I hope that you're doing Booktube for yourself, and because you want to discuss books, or whatever the reason is you started. Let's just make sure that we're doing that and not because we're getting paid. Does that make sense? It's fine to make a living off Booktube, but let's always remember the reason why we started Booktube. Let's encourage everyone's opinions on this topic and talk about everyone's opinions down below, and let's try and not make anyone lonely. No one, I think, is trying to cause hate against a particular person or everything. I think we're all just trying to discuss some issues that we've had in this community. But we should also remember the greatness of this community. This community has taught me so many things as a person. I've read so many great books because of this community. I've met wonderful people because of this community. Let's not focus all on the negatives, and let's not focus all on the positives. Let's view Booktube complexly. Let's discuss everything about it, the positives and the negatives. And hopefully we can grow because of that as a community and grow stronger. So I hope this video has made sense, and I hope that we continue this discussion and we don't just let it dwindle out. And I hope that you feel that your opinions are validated and that you remember that you can have whatever your opinion you want on this subject. But maybe if you feel like you have something to say, say it. Don't just hide away. Anyway, that's it. I'm going. I'll see you next time. Bye.